Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max and Max's Models here. And of course, by now you all know about my little debacle with the blown tire, changing my travel itinerary in California, or going to California. And I had mentioned earlier that when I started checking online, researching how to find the spare tire so I could replace it, turned out Kias don't have spare tires anymore. Well, that wasn't entirely correct. It turns out my model did have a donut, but I had looked at a different year model. And apparently, the reason I couldn't find it was you have to go inside the vehicle, pop a hatch, put on the jack, ratchet around to drop the tire from the belly like hand cranking a landing gear. So that was new, but at least I know I've got one for future reference. Car's up and running now, all fixed, and I'm already back home. So I made it to Jacksonville Airport late, missed my first flight. Had to walk past all the broken models they have on display there. I've really got to talk to the airport manager about letting me come in and fix some of those. Then after that, everything went very smoothly. I had to go through New York instead of Fort Lauderdale on the way up, but with no problems. Everything ran on time. Mike Mashat picked me up at the airport, got checked in at the hotel. Had some time to kill, went up to Spotter's Hill, which is actually technically Imperial Hill because it's on Imperial Boulevard, I believe. But great place to view the traffic at LAX. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a gray and slightly wet day, but still, this is just cell phone stuff. This is called Spotter's Hill for obvious reasons, inside LAX, and there goes the United 73. Anyway, I took a lot of cool photos of airplanes and, of course, from some distance with the cell phone. But then it was off to JD Hobbies, and where we met with Hiro Hane-san from Tamia Models. He's their general manager of international sales. And the whole gang was there, Natalie and Lou, who owned the place, me, Mike Mashat, another Mike number 2, Hiro, and Stan was there. And I forgot to take a picture of the gigantic Imperial Star Destroyer that Stan had 3D printed. I think it's got to be 3-4 feet long. So we piled into the car. We chatted for a while and piled in the car and went off to a wonderful Korean barbecue. That was the first time I'd been to Korean barbecue. It was excellent. And we just talked models and the model business and all that kind of stuff. Hane-san is very, he speaks excellent English, and it was easy to talk to him, and he just getting all the insights on Tamia. Of course, I think I maybe kind of slightly dominated the conversation. Do I ever do that? Maybe just a wee bit. He is such a gentleman, wonderful person. So when we got back to the hobby shop, we presented him with a gift. Mike Mashat was giving him one of his limited edition prints. This one, the X15. You know what? Let's just see it as it happened.
So we'll take this, put that over there. Oh, here you go. If you hold that corner.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry.
And your certificate, authenticity.
This tells the story of the flight and shows you the number. It's a limited edition.
Whoa.
And that's signed by Joe Engel.
The pilot.
And he passed
The
away.
astronaut.
He passed away this year.
Oh, really?
This summer, yeah.
How old was he?
93.
He was very gracious and very grateful. Then we spent a bunch of time just talking about models and the model business and Tamia and how they go about selecting the models, and I pitched a few ideas to him. And I learned something important. I'd often asked how come Tamia never did any kaiju or fantasy models, and he told me point blank it's part of their corporate culture that they only make things that exist in the real world, and it's just part of who they are. And I'm like, okay, we respect that. That's actually makes the mission statement a lot more straightforward. Well, we kept chatting until the doors closed, and I talked about the Phantom that I'm working on, showed him the footage of the Colonel signing and everything, and he seemed to enjoy that a great deal. And of course, he works for a great company that he's obviously very proud of. He's been there 30 years, and it was just wonderful to get to talk to him. We'll probably talk about it some of the live stream, the nuts and bolts of the operation, how they pick their models they make, what's going to be in the next year's catalog. A lot of it is from feedback from the model builders. What do they want? And of course, their operations in the Philippines and Cebu, which is, if you're building a Tamia kit model in the United States, it was probably made in the Philippines. And it was just a great, great visit with a wonderful person and a rare opportunity. And like I said, we'll probably talk about it more at the next live stream. And then it was back up to Spotter's Hill for a little while to kill a little time. And then back to the airport, caught my ride back, red-eye flight, managed to catch a little sleep on the way back. Went through Fort Lauderdale this time, and everything ran right on schedule. I almost missed my Jacksonville flight because at Fort Lauderdale, the jet bridge was having a problem, and I was in the back of the plane. But they finally got it mated, and I ran halfway across the terminal and managed to make it. And my car was already fixed. In fact, the driver who dropped me off at the tire place, I walked up the front door right as a gentleman was unlocking the door for morning business. So it was like a satellite rendezvous, just perfect timing. And came on home, had breakfast with my lovely wife, and now I get one night at home, and tomorrow I'm back to work. So that's the short version of the trip report, and I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit more at the next live stream. Guys, you take care of yourselves. We'll talk at you later, and as always, model on.